listeners, and welcome to episode 26 of the Nigeria Football Weekly podcast with me, your host, Oluoke. On today's episode of the podcast, I'll be reviewing Nigeria's start to the World Cup qualifiers, beating 2-0, Liberia 2-0 at home on Friday, and I'll be doing a quick preview of our game against Cape Verde, which takes place this Tuesday we're away at Cape Verde, so we're going to be away for that one. Getting into it straight away. The Super Eagles played on Friday at 5 p.m. against Liberia for our first game of the World Cup qualifications, and it was a routine 2-0 win. So very straightforward, very routine, no cause for alarms. I predicted that I hoped we would have won the game 4-0 or 3-0, but we'll take 2-0. In terms of the lineup and who started the game, just as I predicted, the lineup was pretty close to what I thought would be the starting lineup named by Grenaro, with the exception of Jamilu Collins, who started in place of Zaidu Sanusi. And for some reason, Zaidu Sanusi was nowhere to be found on the squad list, so I don't know if that one has anything to do with COVID or if it was just a selection issue, and we'll see him play in the game on Tuesday. So the starting lineup was Okoye in goal, Jamilu Collins at left back, Ola Aina at right back, William Ekong and Leon Balogun continuing their partnership in central defence, Wilfred Ndidi and Aribo continuing their partnership in the centre of the midfield, Alex Iwobi starting on the left, Moses Simon starting on the right, Iheanacho starting as the second striker just behind Victor Osimhen. Kelechi Iheanacho scored both of our goals. Very, very good to see. I think it's his first goals for the national team since his goal against Tunisia in one of the friendly matches last year. Both goals came in the first half, so in the 23rd minute and in the 45th minute of the game. Both goals were assisted by Iwobi as well. So the first one was a short corner taken by Iwobi. He passed the ball to Kelechi, and once Kelechi got the ball, just on the right edge of the box, he just shaped to shoot with his left foot. And you have to say the goalkeeper's positioning was a bit off, to be fair. But Kelechi struck it nicely, and it just went low into the bottom of the corner of the net. And his goal just before halftime came from a throw-in. So the initial throw-in with the ball bouncing in the box, almost like the goal Brentford scored against Arsenal in the Premier League. And then Iwobi flicked on the ball, and Kelechi, with brilliant skill, managed to touch the ball with his his left foot, and finish it with his right foot into the bottom left corner of the goal. So awesome performance from the team. Other notable things about the match was it was William Ekong's 50th cap for Nigeria, and he captained the side with Ahmed Musa on the bench. It's also a good thing that it's World Cup qualifiers, which means that the game was available to be streamed on YouTube, and all the additional CAF World Cup qualifiers will continue to be on YouTube. So even the game on Tuesday, wherever you are in the world, you'll be able to watch the game by just searching for Nigeria versus Cape Verde live, and FIFA TV are streaming the game. So we'll be able to see that. Interestingly enough, though, Liberia did have a bit of more possession than I would have anticipated in the game, but it was a fairly dominating performance from Super Eagles. We had 10 shots to their 5 shots, 4 on target. Maduka Okoye had to make a couple routine saves, but nothing really threatening, to be honest. And we had 6 corners to their 1. They also picked up 4 yellow cards, and we had no bookings, which tells you the tale of the tape with them trying to chase the game. But to be honest, it was never in doubt. So impressive performances, I mentioned. Kelechi Iheanacho was the star of the game. Alex Iwobi also put up an impressive performance. Wilfred Ndidi was great in the middle of the park, as usual, as you'd always expect from him. And I thought our defense was also very, very solid, especially the centre-backs, Ekong and Balogun. And also, Ola Aina was pretty good at right back in this game. Notable things that I also noticed that we could work on. Victor Osimhen missed an absolute sitter, so I'm just worried about his confidence a little bit. So I'm hoping that in the game on Tuesday, he could score just to boost his confidence, because we need Osimhen fit and firing, especially after he got a red card for his club side to start the season. So just so he knows that he has the good vibes for the season, it would be great for him to score. Ahmed Musa came on in the, 90th minute or 86th minute? And that to win his 99th cap for the Super Eagles. So he's one game away from reaching 100 caps. So congrats to Ahmed Musa, and he'll more than likely get that cap on Tuesday. We need to make better use of our corner kicks as well. We had 6 corners, and even the goal we scored from a corner was a short corner that was taken. So I'd like to see improvements in that aspect, especially when you consider the size of our centre backs in general. So that was really it for World Cup qualifying. Cape Verde and Central African Republic drew 1-1 in the other game in the group. So at the moment, we top the group with 3 points. A win on Tuesday at Cape Verde would really consolidate our position as the big boys in this group. But things to note about this match. It will be played at the Estadio Municipal Aderito Senna. At the moment, Cape Verde are managed by an ex-international called Bobista, and he was feeling very confident about their chances of getting a result against Super Eagles in an interview he did for their local website over the weekend. At the moment, they're ranked 77th in the world, but they're by far the most dangerous side we're going to face in this group. They're very, very strong at home. They don't lose games at home. They qualified for AFCON in the same group as Cameroon, Rwanda, and Mozambique with 2 wins and 4 draws. So they haven't lost a competitive fixture in a long time, probably since the last Africa Cup of Nations. So we have to be careful. Yes, they drew 4 of those games, but 2 of those wins, out of their 2 wins, one of those was beating Cameroon at home 3-1 in March earlier this year. So we really, really, really have to take time, especially with the added conundrum that we now know where 6 of our starting players and 1 of our players off the bench will be missing from the game in Cape Verde due to the UK quarantine laws, as Cape Verde is a red list country. So that means that Ekong, Balogun, Ndidi, Aribo, Iheanacho, and Iwobi, who all started the game on Friday, and Etebo, who came on the pitch, will all be missing from that game. So we're going to have almost an entirely new defense apart from our fullbacks and an entirely new midfield for this game. So I'm a bit concerned about the lack of gelling, which could play to the favor of the Cape Verdeans. Previous fixtures with Cape Verde, we've faced them once before in our history. This was in a January 2013 friendly, which ended 0-0. And as I mentioned, in their first game against the Central African Republic, they drew 1-1 with the goal scored by Julio Tavares, who's a 32-year-old striker. Although they should have won the game in all honesty, because they missed quite a few gilt-edged opportunities. Although I saw some defensive vulnerabilities that can be exploited, and their keeper looked pretty poor, judging from the goal that Central African Republic scored. It was a shot from the edge of the box that he just parried it into the path of another player to just tap into the back of the net. So key players for us to be worried about. Majority of their squad play in Europe, so this is no outfit to disrespect or think we could just run over. Although a lot of their biggest stars now play in some of the more lucrative Asian leagues. So Julio Tavares, the striker who scored, he plays in Saudi Arabia for Al Fasali. Ryan Mendes, probably one of the most famous players from their team. He previously played for Lille. He's now at Al Nasser in Dubai. And Gary Rodriguez, the Dutch-born Cape Verdean, he's playing for a club side called Al Ittihad, and he was previously at Fenerbahce. Very, very fast winger. And the majority of them also play in like the Portuguese league, due to that colonial link between Cape Verde and Portugal. So basically, this is not a game to underrate by any shape or form. Like, it's going to be tough. To be honest with you, I don't want to sound unambitious, but I think a draw would be a decent result. Although you'd always like to think that we should be able to win these kind of games. But considering the issues with our players missing, I think a draw would be absolutely fine. So who do I expect to start this game? Maduka Okoye will continue in goal. Ola Aina will continue at right back. Jamilu Collins will continue at left back unless Sanusi is available again, although I'm not sure it's likely. Central defense will probably see Kenneth Omero and Chidozie Awaziem come in to slot in for Ekong and Balogun, who have returned to the UK. Central midfield is the one where I'm not sure of the most, because Ndidi, Aribo, Etebo, and Franco Eka, who got COVID, all play in England. So they've all gone back. So we're going to see a new midfield of players who will either be making their debut, or Abdoulaye Shehu could be moved into DM to start as a DM. But the problem is, the other options in central midfield are Innocent Bonke, who is going to be playing Champions League football for Malmo. He's more of a defensive midfielder as well. So are we going to play Abdoulaye Shehu and Bonke, who are both defensive midfielders? Or we might see Bonke start, one of Bonke or Shehu starts, and Michael Kingsley of Bologna coming into the side because he's not as defensive-minded as those two players. So let's see what Grenaro does there. I'd expect Ahmed Musa to come into the starting lineup with Iwobi and Iheanacho going back to England. Chidera Ejike, I think, deserves an opportunity considering how he started his season. So I think he'll start. And then I think one of Moses Simon or Onyekuru would start. I mean, we might see Onyekuru, Simon, and Musa start, but I think Ejike out of all those players, Ejike is the one who could play a bit more centrally compared to the rest. So we might see a situation where Ejike plays more as a central attacking midfielder, and then Victor Osimhen should start up front. Or we might even see Grenaro just say, you know what, sod it, I'm going to play 4-4-2. And he might play Osimhen and Polonuachu up top. So we'll see what happens anyway. But that's the state of play for our team. I think most importantly, we need to try and keep a clean sheet, even with our central defenders, our first choice central defenders missing. Remember, the game is available on FIFA TV on YouTube for those watching outside Nigeria. I'm sure it'll be on SuperSport and NTA in Nigeria. The game kicks off at 5 p.m. on Tuesday, September 7th. 5 p.m. September 7th. And it'll give us an opportunity to go 2 for 2 in our group. So that's the preview of the game against Cape Verde. I wish Super Eagles all the best. And after the game, I'll be doing a roundup of the game as well as previewing the fixtures as club football returns over the weekend. Take care. Thanks for your time as always. Peace out. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and click the bell to get a notification whenever we drop a video. You can also find our social media channels listed below. And of course, up Super Eagles and Nigeria no dey ever carry last.